Well, I suppose better late than never. We are finally back to Way of the Hunter, and since we last played the main game, albino red deer and whitetail have been released. We have melanistic mule deer and roe deer now. I kind of think they've done some updates to fur textures. I happened to spawn in standing right by an elk, and I just think they look better than they used to. I don't know about that for sure, but it's been a while, and we're just gonna head out here on Nez Perce Valley and see what we can find. And of course, right outside our lodge here, we do have a herd of mule deer, and all the bucks that I can see seem to be 1-star adults. So we'll probably just go ahead and try to get one of them with the 270. We'll go ahead and stay zeroed for 164. I kind of think we shouldn't get a pass through, so hopefully we don't hit one of the ones from behind it. We'll mark that. And I was thinking of something. The last time that we played this on the main game, I believe, the difficulties were still switched. So I think we were on Adventurer, but it was the difficulty level Hunter was supposed to be. I don't know if that has been changed. So if you guys know the answer to that, let me know. I think we're still on Adventurer, so we may be on an easier difficulty than we intend to be today, but if that has been fixed, it'll be the last time. We'll switch to Hunter for the future hunts. And by the way, the good news is I don't see any other blood, so I don't think we gotta pass through and hit another one. This guy definitely is an uneven one. I think a good one to take out. We heart shot him. Not too bad, just picking up where we left off in the game. 59%. We are indeed on Adventurer, so again, if you guys know the answer to that, let me know. And we're gonna make 218 credits from that. I don't think at 25k that is as relevant anymore. Still kind of used to having played on the beta and actually needing credits, but gonna be nice not to have to worry about that today. You know, I'm not certain I recognize this herd. There's a 3-star mature up there. This one down here is a 1-star adult, but it looks kind of promising. And then somewhere over in here, and I'm kind of afraid to move, I think it's that guy, is a 2-star mature. Can we get that to stay there? So I think we can go ahead and take him. Maybe leaving that 3-star will help with the overall genetics. Just need to make sure that we can get that around the brush. That is certainly pink blood. I really like this 270. They don't typically tend to go very far. I'm gonna guess he's gonna go down inside. He actually got further than I thought, but looking like that's about the end of it. In fact, he came up just short of the marker I put down when he started to really slow down in the trees. So as a 2-star mature, that guy was 55%, almost exactly the same as the 1-star that we started with. A little better credit-wise since he's a heavier buck, 300 pounds in fact. So we can sell him. And this is whitetail feed time. It's 8 a.m. now. We might go and look for that 4-star we had. I believe that's our buck out there behind the black bear. I'm not sure if we're quite close enough to spot it. Now we should be. The bear's just a female. The buck is still a 4-star, which isn't that surprising. We've not gotten to put that much time in since we last encountered him, but good to know he's still around and good to know where he's at. So we'll keep an eye on that going forward. That is at least part of the reason why we've not been back to the game that much. I haven't had the opportunity to just play off camera and get time to pass in hopes of that particular buck aging and reaching 5 stars. So we know he's still around, and with the knowledge that he has not aged, we can pretty much hunt freely now, maybe visit some other spots and see what's out here. These elk are a good 450 yards away, and all of them look the exact same except for that one in the back. So I'm thinking he must be much older. He's almost white in color by comparison. So we'll zero for 440. Do they know we're here? They should be beyond the distance where they'd be able to notice us, but it kind of seemed like they did. As for the one we're after, he is determined to move all around, but I think even though that angle's not the best, with the 300 and a well-placed shot, that should get him. That's pink blood. And we'll just see. I want to get back to being able to recognize that stuff without being able to spot them. And we had gotten, at least with elk, to a point where very consistently in the distance we could spot a mature, shoot it, and just help with our overall genetics. And I think of all the 5-stars we've shot, like 7 of them have been elk. I really like the way they look. I'd be happy to add more to the lodge. Not a bad track, all things considered, either. So let's see. I mean, he looks just old and gray. So is that actually the case? If we could actually claim him, I guess there's blood directly underneath him. We made a right long shot there at 434 yards. He was a mature and a 28% on the genetics, so exactly what we want to take out of the herd. Pretty decent credits, all things considered. I'm still stuck on that from actually needing them, but not too bad. We are really low on ammo. We have, I think, 2 300 rounds and 3 270 rounds, so we'll jump back, restock, and go out from there. Now that might be the best news we'll see all day. A 3-star adult whitetail, which I think is what we spotted the 4-star mature we looked at as. So that's encouraging. I think we had another one that was a 3-star adult as well, so we've got good whitetail genetics around. I just can't help but think that we've had 5 stars on the map that we haven't encountered. Regardless, I'm not 100% sure if they're coming down here to drink at this lake. I think we do have. Well, we've got some zones from a herd of whitetail, but I don't even see where they are. It's directly south of there. I remember getting that zone, and it was just by track, so it would make sense that we haven't seen these deer, and they're kind of going that way. That's really good news. I don't know that there's anything in there we can actually shoot. I saw a couple of 1-star youngs, but when there's genetics in a herd like that to get a 3-star adult, I don't really mess with it. It's just good to know they're here. I'm not sure we can just go for the shot like we did on the elk, but that appears to be kind of the same thing with the moose. There's a very obvious kind of gray coloration to that one bull, and he was also very uneven, so almost certainly one that we want to take. But in this case, either we need him to go broadside, or we're going to have to scoot in so close that we could spot him, but I do like that. I don't even remember exactly what update it was that I noticed it, but sometime within the last couple of updates, they seem to have made an effort to make it a bit more identifiable without actually relying on spotting, to know what animals are mature, what animals are maybe still younger and stuff, just by looking at the coloration of the fur. And assuming that there's not anything odd going on with that moose, seems it's fairly clear with them too. So in this case, the moment of truth comes before we go to claim him. He is a 1-star mature. He does see us. I actually think the other moose probably see us because they're far closer. But can we dip this shot maybe into the heart? It's hard to see. I'm going to say we managed that. Admittedly, moose are not as tough as you may be expecting this game, but I would still think even if that was a long shot, he would have run a little bit. So glad we got that. Another good one to kind of get out of the herd. I don't know that we shot anything today above like a 1-star, but that's kind of the thing. It's always working on the overall herd genetics, and we don't go for moose that much anymore. We killed that one 5-star on stream. Very fluky situation. Spotted him as a 4. Happened to rest the next day, I think, to hunt for another mission or something, and he was there as a 5. And we just basically never even come up here. I really like them. I think, as far as the models go, wonder what this was. We shot him with the Remington 700 long range at 338 yards. Took a poor angle and hit him in the intestines and actually got some artery damage. If there was a date included on this screen, it would just be so interesting to know. And let's actually compare two. Can we see? I don't think we're going to be able to tell that well, but he definitely has changed. Like, you can see his right side got far bigger, whereas his left side kind of stayed the same. Regardless, hard shot on the second time. And I kind of lost track of what I was saying. I think, as far as models go, the moose are very good. I think the elk models are way the hunter's best work, but I do like the moose. I'd love to have some more 5-star moose in the lodge too, and hopefully one day, rare moose. We have, of course, the 2 albino and 2 melanistic species that I mentioned. I'm really looking forward to the big ones like elk and moose, getting albinos and maybe melanistics down the road. I just think they would look fantastic. But anyway, we will, I suppose, continue working our way up through. Maybe we'll go up into this top corner, and then we'll move into the mountains or something like that. Well, it wouldn't take much to establish whether or not we got to shoot that one. It's a 1-star adult, but super, super uneven. There was another one, though, with a much lighter coloration. Somewhere right down here, that's him there. I think they just got onto us. He's a 3-star mature. Very, very gray looking. So probably a little bit older, but they have like 5 years of maturity. So it's hard to say if him being kind of gray means he's closer to dying of old age, essentially. But we'll take that one. I don't know, that's not that gray. It's lighter in color, but that's probably worth coming back to. We'll see if we can find a zone, because I don't know that we have one up here. Unless it's that? Oh, that probably is it. Well, that's good to know. We'll definitely pay this area a visit again. And I mentioned we got our one 5-star and never really came back to it. When we hadn't gotten one, I spent quite a bit of time looking for either a 5-star moose or one with potential. And I do remember seeing a really promising 1-star young, and it would have taken forever to even get to 3 stars. They get to about 12 years old, so that very well could be the same one. That one side, like the side that's closer to us, is really solid, 66%, but just a 1-star as an adult, one we had to take out, and hopefully that'll help, especially, I don't know if he's in the same herd, technically, as that 3-star, but that could help as far as what ends up respawning from him. Now, this is interesting. I'm kind of unsure what these sheep are doing, because it's kind of late in the afternoon. It's past 4 o'clock. It's not bighorn sheep drink time. I mean, they drink the same time as deer and elk, so I don't really know what they're doing, but I'm pretty happy to encounter them up here. I wasn't really sure what we'd get into. There's wolves over there. That makes a little more sense, but they drink later than this, so I don't know. We'll have to really sort of spend some time here, because there's a ton of animals just all in this one spot. But once we've spotted everything and kind of confirmed there's nothing crazy here, we'll probably try to go for the 2-star mature ram that we saw, unless there's a wolf that would be a better option. We may go for one of them, just because we're alerting everything, and I'm certain the bighorn are going to know we're here too. So there's a 2-star mature, 170-ish yards away. Can we slot a shot in there? I'm a little worried about that branch. That'll do. We do not kill a lot of wolves, so happy to take that. There must have been some delay there, because one of those bighorns just called, but that wouldn't make a lot of sense. So we'll kind of watch as they run off, try to make sure we didn't miss anything. I mean, that one looked decent, but I'm thinking that's the 2-star mature. A lot of halfway decent bighorn look really big. There's not a ton of difference between like a 2-star and say a 4-star, but not too bad. Probably the first wolf we've shot in months. We really just kind of typically let them go. Left lung shot there at 175. That's kind of impressive. Did it insta-drop with the 270 just with a single lung? Good to know that'll be the case. 68% on him. And at this stage, we're getting kind of towards the evening for this particular day, and I honestly have no idea where we are at in terms of the potential for anything on the map to age and maybe gain another star rating or anything like that. So we'll probably go ahead, hunt till 6, 7 p.m., something like that, rest the morning, and just see where we're at. You know, it is interesting. Now we've got a herd of mule deer just right down by the water, and I'm kind of thinking, unless there's more deer hidden back there, that 1-star mature is going to be the one to take. But I feel like we're seeing way more animals right up close to the water late in the day than we would have in the past, and maybe it's just coincidence, it's hard to say, but basically 2 lakes in a row. The only lake in between this was this one down here, and it's like a sulfur lake or something, so I don't think animals actually drink there. Everything's pretty well moved out of there, so let's go ahead and go for the 1-star mature. This is probably a herd we've never seen before, and doesn't appear to be much interesting, but you never know what just taking one will do. And that was probably a hard shot. That was about as instant a kill as we could get. Not too bad. We've been making the rounds with different species, different areas, and actually having pretty good success. We're probably close to 5 o'clock, actually just past 5 o'clock. So another 10-15 minutes in game, we'll go ahead and rest a morning and see where we're at. But let's take a look at this guy. That was actually just double lung, right above the heart, and maybe a touch in front of it there too. Got some artery damage, but not too much. A 41% genetic male for that guy. Not too bad as a little bonus mule deer. Well, rather fittingly, we are just about to the point where it's time to rest the next day. But we've got a herd of whitetail here with seemingly a couple of bucks. Now, it's tough to even get a spot on them as they're passing through the brush, but I did see a 1-star adult. I think it's that guy out front. Got a adult doe. Actually, there's a couple out front, but one of these, I believe, is a 1-star adult. Even that one might be a mature. It looks a little older. Either way, let's go ahead and try to get a shot through to one of them. I think we'll go for that one. However that dropped, I have no idea, but it was gonna get a lot tougher if it got through the trees and out of sight. So I don't know if there was anything better in there, but figured we might as well go for it. So there are 2 4-star mature whitetail on this map, and I honestly have no clue if resting to another day is going to see them age. There are typically several in-game days for like 1 year as animals age, and I don't know at what stage we are along that. It may be that it's time, it might not be, but we might as well go and find out before we wrap up. So this guy, we actually got in the right lung and I guess the artery from the spine. That must be why he dropped that additional hit, but not too bad. 33%, perfect to get out of the herd. And let's go rest back to morning. I cannot believe it. A 5-star whitetail. And we knew it was coming, but just to see it after all this time. And you know what's crazy? This isn't the one that we looked at earlier. This is one that we saw as a 3-star adult, if I'm not mistaken, while our other 4-star was a 4-star mature, which frankly kind of concerns me. I kind of think it might be dead. But look at that. That is just a sight I've been waiting to see. When did this come out? August? 5 months of hoping to see basically exactly that. And now we gotta find a shot angle, because he is not exactly offering one. That's not going to help our case. By the way, we've not really highlighted this, but whitetail deer will flag now when they are alerted. He's gonna turn. Can we get that shot in there? I think that's gonna be a vital hit. It certainly looked to be, and he's starting to stumble. I can't believe that just happened. And we even got to take a look at the flagging. Amazing. And you know, what kills me is we sort of took a bit of an extended break from Way the Hunter because I didn't feel that I had enough time off camera to basically have this happen. This has been a 3-hour and 6-minute hunt to this point, and we accomplished the very thing that I was wanting to do, but had been putting off because I didn't think I could do it in one video. Go figure. Insane. So where did he end up? I think I marked the last place that we saw him. That probably is incorrect because it's down the hill a bit, but we will sort this out shortly. In fact, he's laying right there by the creek. It's probably not going to make for the best photo, but we'll be sure to take one. I think it's like the big rack. I could be wrong about that, but as far as I know, that's sort of the best frame shape you can get for the 5-star whitetail. It's definitely not going to be the best for our picture. Nice ivory tines on that, though. Pretty cool, and we got it with the 270. I wonder, can we make that a little bit better? It's not bad. The one thing is that highlight is happening. If you look away from the animal enough, as long as you don't have like the claim animal thing, that will go away. I mean, it's not great, but I'd say it'll do. So what do we have? For our first 5-star whitetail buck ever in Way the Hunter, double lunged him there. Pretty much exactly where we wanted that, just behind the shoulder blade, avoids any potential issues there. 137 yards away, 96%. I mean, he was a 3-star adult. It was kind of to be expected. 400-pound deer is insane. But then, a 487. Max of 500. 487 is pretty huge for our first. Not bad. Let's make sure we do the correct thing here and taxidermy and not sell. And this is kind of the thing with Way the Hunter. Like, you get into cycles. There's a chance we have another 5-star whitetail on our map right now. And I can't not go and look at it, so let's go see. Either he's dead, or he's there as the 5-star. That's the only two options I see. I do think this is probably the herd is in the right spot. They were kind of late getting here, but even still, no sign of a 4-star or 5-star mature. And I thought I had spotted this one as a 3-star adult. That may not be the case, but even still, there's a lot of deer around here. It's possible this is the wrong herd because they're not exactly where we typically encounter them. And I'll come back here for certain before we pass any time and try to confirm that. But I want to go back to the lodge and get our 5-star mounted. Finally, after all these months and so many hunts, so many deer that I thought could make it that didn't, we got one, and there could still be another one around. But for now, I'm not too worried about that. Now, choosing a spot was a bit of a challenge, but I really do like these pedestal mounts, and I've kind of been saving them specifically for 5-star whitetail. That is just so cool to see. All this time awaiting, and we finally have one. I actually was considering throwing him down here next to the fireplace, but my concern is, like, if we look at this one, this is a 4-star, and he's so close to having his antlers clipped through. I'm afraid the frame for the 5-star is going to be too big and would clip into the rocks, so I think this is going to work. I'm just so glad that we finally went out there, took the time, hunted through an entire, basically 3-hour day, rested in the morning, and there was the very thing that we've been after. Insane. But I think on that note, that is officially going to do it for this video. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.